and move. Groove and move. Groove and move. I said groove and move. Groove and move. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? How y'all doing today? Happy Saturday, sexy people. What it do? I still got my workout gloves on. Y'all know I'm coming back from getting it in. What up, Gilbert Lopez? I see you. What up, cousin Brucey? I see you, cousin. I see you, Asia on drums. You play the drums? What it do? What it do? What we doing? What we doing? Your girl's coming back from a workout. Okay, what flag is that? Oh, what flag is that? Italy? I don't know. I need to practice my flags, y'all. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Good afternoon, Mr. Exotic. Good afternoon, Chatterbox. I see you. 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 What it do? Hey, Kimberly. Parking lot pimping while the husband is getting some stuff for Rover, for our dog. And I just wanted to bop in and say hello to my people. I see you, Robert. I see you, Soror. Eep. Shout out to the Sorors of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Did y'all work out today? Did y'all drink y'all water today? Did y'all park a little farther in the parking lot and walk that extra mile? Did you take the elevator or did you take the stairs? You understand? It's a lot going on out here in these post-COVID streets. It's a lot of people. Oh, probably shouldn't have said that. Now the Uda gonna start messing with my algorithm, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The big C. Long time, a lot of stuff going on out here health-wise with people. Shout out to my sister Panay. She told me she, ever since the big C occurred, she's been, going through a lot. So prayers and positive vibrations to everybody who is out there battling anything. I have a praise report that I want to share. My sister, a lot of my family and close friends are very private. A lot of them are not even on social media. What up, Coattail Collective? I see you. But I think that I can say this. My sister is progressing. Some of you know she's diagnosed with a brain tumor, an aggressive glioma. Stage 4 cancer. What up, Ro? I see you, brother. My sister was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Thank y'all, prayer warriors, for continuing to pray. She is like Michael. I forgot his name. Oh God, y'all know who I'm talking about. Michael Strahan, like Michael Strahan's daughter, and so many other people. Jovita Williams, unfortunately. Same thing. So I just want to send out positive prayers and vibrations to anybody who's going through anything health-wise, and just let you guys know that my sister is still here. She is still fighting. She starts a new round of chemo. She's got something called an Optune cap, which we were praying for this Optune cap because it is a new FDA approved. For anybody out there who knows anyone who might be struggling with a glioma or any kind of brain cancer or brain tumor that is aggressive, make sure you look up something. It is called Optune, T-U-N. Optune cap is a cap that my sister is wearing that gives you a much better prognosis than without. So we're gonna do a whole like once we get through the steps. This has been new for our family. It's been a process, but we're gonna do a whole hopefully I can convince her to talk a little bit about what's going on with her, and hopefully it'll inspire other people and other families who are facing stuff like this. So we're staying in the space of being positive, y'all. We stand in the space of God being able to do any and all things. We are not claiming defeat. Y'all know how I do. You know how I do even with this litigation. So let me give y'all a quick litigation update, right? I haven't talked about that in a while. Hold on, let me take these gloves off. I just realized I'm touching my face. Hold on. Put this down. Sorry, y'all in my lap for a second. Sorry, people. Got to take these gloves off. And I was touching my face and working out on them barbells. And you know how men are now. But real quick update on my case. We are currently... Hi, everybody. Hi, people who are just joining us. Hello. Coming from the gym. We are currently in the appeal. We are, very confident and very hopeful that the 3 judges in the appeals court grant us the opportunity. All we've wanted since 2020 is to go to trial. We've just wanted to go to trial. And I'm not shocked, I have to say. A lot of people are like, you really are kind of handling this well, considering that, the judge issued a summary judgment. I knew when My case was moved from Georgia to Los Angeles a couple years ago. My case was moved. We filed it in Georgia. It was moved from Georgia to Los Angeles. And I knew when my case was moved to Los Angeles that I was in Hollywood. And I knew that it was, I did a lot of research. I looked at previous cases. Like I've said before, I have the defendants, a couple of the defendants in my case had cases in front of the same judge before. And, I did my research and I was very clear. And then when the judge, ordered them to issue, the judge ordered them to refile their case when it got to LA as a summary judgment motion, which was odd. But, this is what they did. And then once they refiled their motion for summary judgment, the judge actually, and summary judgment is like, for those of you who don't know and don't know law, summary judgment is usually when you just are done, when the only other option is appeal. So he ordered them to file a summary judgment the minute their case got into his court, and in December he granted them the summary judgment, which basically he said that no reasonable juror, in his opinion, would look at my case and see any similarities. Even though I gave it to the CEO of Lionsgate, even though they're the same characters, even though, the judge made that decision. And a lot of decisions, for those of you who don't know, a lot of these decisions in these cases are made based on previous cases and who won what, because those cases set precedents. So if my case was able to go forward, then we would have set a new precedent that is unheard of in Hollywood. Because the truth is, and I've said it on my live many times before we even before they granted them the summary judgment, I said plaintiffs hardly ever win against billion-dollar corporations. Because, think about it. I ain't even a millionaire, and I'm fighting billionaires, right? I'm 100,000 person. And basically, based on this trial for the last 3 years, baby, started from the bottom, now we're here. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not, I wish, hindsight being 2020, I really thought I was going to have a shot at going before a jury. And I still do, based on what the appeal says, right? Again, the appeals court is 3 judges, not 1, right? No disrespect to any of the judges, because we don't play that. We don't play disrespecting no judges that you got to go before for decisions. I'm not saying that. I'm just stating facts that are on Pacer and that you can look up and you can see as clear as day. And I knew going into this how hard this was going to be, but I really thought that I was going to at least get a chance to go to a trial. I really thought, based on my facts, my evidence, based on the fact that I went and I gave my script to the CEO of Lionsgate. And not only am I, acknowledging that and admitting that, the lawyer who referred me, who was a friend of the CEO, admits it. A lawyer's assistant who set up the meeting admits it. And my publicist, who went to the meeting with me, was like, yeah, we went and left the materials. But for some reason, none of that mattered. They couldn't look at that, I guess, for whatever stipulations and past cases. And, I'm learning, honey. But that didn't come into play. Even him saying, he never said it didn't happen. He said he didn't remember. He didn't recall, right? So, and that's all on paper. And, it's just unfair, in my opinion, to not have, a jury of 12 people look at my evidence, look at Katori Hall, Lionsgate, Starz' evidence, and make a determination. And the fact that I spent, since 2020 going back and forth in court, and I was not even granted, it was like, nope, you're not going before a jury. No jury's going to look at this and see the same. I just want to go before an appeals court so the appeals court can say, yeah, we agree or whatever. I just feel like, I deserve that. And it's hard. It's hard to, every day, it's ebb and flow. My husband who talking about my case and our appeal. My husband who, is my rock, is, my whole family has been through this horrible situation for the last 3 years. And now what we're facing, which is really odd and really weird and really crazy to me, to us, is now the defendants, which you can see this in a public filing, they're trying to sue me for legal fees by saying that, basically what happens is, typically, I wasn't even I was told, for the most part, that even if I won my case in this first round, that I wouldn't really probably be able to look towards getting legal fees, because it's just not something that courts normally do, is what I was told and what I read and online and all that. But somehow the defendants have decided that they want to sue me for $1 million. So we were supposed to have a hearing. Again, this is all stuff that's on Pacer. But we're not having a hearing. The judge canceled the hearing. He's just going to make a decision as to whether or not. So I'll be finding out in a short period of time whether or not they're going to sue me for $1 million because I decided, babe, I'm live, so you got to drive like you got some sense and not Philly style. So I'll find out. Well, my family will find out whether or not we're going to be basically penalized for filing our case. Now, what this is going to tell us, which again is public information, and my lawyers have made this clear in our brief. What this is going to tell us is basically, for me, you just don't try to sue people worth millions of dollars, no matter how right you think you are, no matter how, much merit you think your case has. If I am in a situation where, because I filed a lawsuit, I now have to pay my lawyers $1 million and their lawyers $1 million, it's just telling me everything I need to know. And they'll sit you down, baby. Well, shh, can't say stuff like that, please. They will sit you down, period. They will sit you down. And listen, I'm not scared of nothing but God, right? And I just feel like God is in control of everything. And I feel like, at the end of the day, no matter what happens in the end from this case, we're all going to learn a great deal from it. And maybe that's why God gave it to me, because I do have an incredible amount of faith, and I'm not scared to start over, nigga. I'm from Detroit. Hello, I understand what it means to start, but it's just crazy to me that you can have a case as clear, in my opinion, and the opinions of all my lawyers, and I got a lot of them that's attached to this, and anybody who's watched it, and anybody who's looked at WIRFmedia.com and the 57 comparisons, and anybody who considers that, ooh, y'all see how my thing gets weird? Anybody who considers that I went and I actually dropped the story off and all that stuff. Y'all see my stuff starting to glitch and blitch. That's crazy. They'd be like, watch your mouth. But anywho, we're in appeal. So what I need all the prayer warriors and the people who really care about, all this time, still in it. Pray that the appeals court sees what so many lawyers who've looked at it, what I see, look at additional facts and give us a shot. That is all we're looking for. We're not here to, bash anybody or defame anyone. We're just saying this happened. We believe this happened. This is what happened leading up to it. And we want a jury to look at the facts on both sides. But if we can't get to a jury, if you go 3 years and you get charged $2 million, right? And you can't even get in front of a jury, it's impossible to win, y'all. I'm just, I was all like, yeah, we're going to go before a jury. And I didn't know I wasn't even going to get a chance to go in front of a jury. Like, it's crazy as hell to me. But it's a much bigger problem if you can't get, they say justice is supposed to wear that blindfold, but she slipped off in my case, I think, a little bit. I don't know. It's like one little eye was exposed and she saw something. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, she, did not feel justice. Lady Justice did not feel that I deserved to go before a jury. So we're praying and praying and praying that I get the opportunity. But if I don't, I have to leave y'all with this, very important thing to remember always. Ownership, which I've been talking about since Methuselah. Ownership is the only way. It is the only real way to real equity and real justice for us as content creators, because it's supposed to be that you file a federal copyright, right? It's supposed to be that you can file a federal copyright, you pay a fee, and it protects your copyright. And if someone infringes on your copyright, then you're supposed to have an opportunity to go before. And I've just never been in a courtroom. I went in a courtroom one time, and the one time I went in a courtroom in 3 years was him rescheduling it for something else. And I've never had the opportunity to hear my lawyers, who I've paid a tremendous amount of money and still have to continue paying. I've never heard them ever get before any judge and really be like, this is this. Now, they file briefs, which are things that you read, right? But sometimes it makes a difference when you're able to stand in front of someone and explain it, because, you know, it just is a right that I think everybody should have. I think everybody should have the right to go before a jury and explain this to them, especially when you have a lot of facts. And I have a ton of facts in my case. My lawyers are excellent attorneys, all of them. Baker Donaldson, Holland and Knight, all of them. And they're worth every penny. And none of them would have gone this far if my case did not have merit. The fact that my expert's report was just thrown out, like, it was literally like, I paid all this money for an expert I never talked to. This is somebody who's a neutral party, who does this professionally for a living for 30 plus years, and his whole report was just thrown out. Like, the expert's report is thrown out and no jury's gonna go with this, and it just feels so like crazy that this is, and it ain't nothing I can do. There's nothing that we can do except appeal and pray that the appeal goes through. There is nothing we can do, which is why I've just accepted it, as hard as it is for me to accept that I just might not get a trial. You know, I'm not claiming it, and this ain't defeat. This is just the realities of the system that we're in. And, you know, I'm a black woman. I'm not a multi-billionaire, multi-millionaire, and I'm fighting multi-billionaires too, companies that are multi-billionaires, right? And I just can't compete. Like, there are things that I wanted to do during discovery that I couldn't do. We got 60 days of discovery. People have a year and some change to do discovery. We literally had, like, not even 60 days, because, you know, everything wasn't happening in the timing that it needed to have been happening. And, you know, and there are things, extra things that I needed to pay for that I just quite honestly couldn't afford to pay for it. Let's just keep it real. Like, other little things and other people, and, you know, it just could have gone a whole lot further if I had millions and millions of dollars to, like, really stand up for myself. So I realized that when you are going up against a Goliath, as much as you know, and I still believe that God has a plan, and I'm still here 100% for God's plan for us in this case and everything. I'm not admitting defeat until it's over, and we still in appeal and it's not over. But I'm dealing with the reality that if I had more money, if I was able to financially compete on some levels with the multi-billion-dollar company, then I would have probably had a much better chance in this situation, right? Because I could have just done more in the short period of time we were given. And if you go and you look at the process of my case, it was just always in a process of waiting and motions going back and forth and filing this and filing that. And we never got a chance to get to the courtroom in the way that I feel we should have, which is in front of a jury. And ain't nothing I can do about that but appeal and pray that the appeal goes through. And I can make sure that y'all remember and know that the only way to prevent this from happening in real life is to have ownership, equitable ownership of all the content that we're creating. It's the thing that stops those conversations that you hear Taraji having, those conversations that you hear Denzel Washington having, the conversation I can't wait to see with Monique and Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. I'm sure that will be addressed. The Parkers and the only way that we're ever going to be able to compete as creatives, as content creators whose content makes hundreds of millions of dollars for major corporations, the only way you're going to be able to have real equity is to own it. And when I went in and pitched ownership to Lionsgate and Starz CEO, I should have been given that opportunity the same way they gave it to Tyler Perry. Reason why I went in there and pitched it was because of Tyler Perry's success with Lionsgate and ownership of intellectual property. Like he said in that documentary, Lionsgate was like, huh? And he was like, no, yeah, I got to own my stuff. And they gave it to him. And I went in not long after they renewed his deal with the same promoters who invested in Tyler Perry's career. And I let the CEO of Lionsgate know, I got the same people backing me that back Tyler Perry. We can have the same kind of success that you had with Tyler Perry with Soul Kids Cabaret, as a play, as a dramatic series, as a film, as a Broadway show, as a Vegas show. Soul Kids Cabaret was a whole brand. And instead of responding to me going in, having that conversation with him about ownership, I looked up years later and they hired Katori Hall basically to create a, in my opinion, substantially similar show. Now they gonna probably take this live to the judge and be like, see what she did, she owes us, you make her pay us $1 million, whatever, because I'm telling the truth about what happened with me. But my truth is my truth. My truth doesn't change because of a summary judgment issue. It just means that technically, you know, the judge said that nobody else is gonna agree with me, right? So it's nothing I can do about that but appeal. But what I will do is tell you, you go look at them comparisons. You look at the fact that I went into Lionsgate, which is the company that owns Starz and Pvalley and all of that.
The proof is in the daggone dockets.
It's in the dockets. Yeah, all you got to do is look at the dockets. Oh, you mean the? Oh, yeah, it was redacted. The depositions with the CEOs and Katori and all of those people, they redacted it. They don't want, you can't see it, which is crazy to me. It's like, it's crazy. Yeah, if you could see, it's crazy if you could see what was redacted, but y'all will probably never see what was redacted. And that's one of those examples of me saying, if I had more money, I could have fought them closing those documents up, right? If I had more money, if I had more, like if I was in a Cassie situation or somebody who just put something out and like the world was talking about it, if, you know, Tamron Hall was talking about it, like she had them on there 11 times, you know, here I am fighting a show that's won 11,000 NAACP Image Awards, right? Here I am fighting a show that's on TV, being broadcast as the most incredible, amazing thing ever, and I'm fighting a $1 billion company, and I ain't got $1 million to fight them. I just got $1 million, possibly $2 million in debt. Because I decided, no, wait. And here's the thing. That's the reason I was so vocal. People talk about, oh, you was talking about it. I was talking about it because I knew the day that it went into court in Los Angeles, and I started doing my research on where it was, that the likelihood of this result happening was 99.99%. I had already had my spirit mentally prepared to not. And I didn't want to speak this publicly because I believe it's, you know, important that you are careful. But my husband, me, my family, we all knew. We knew the minute they took it out of... Katori lives in Georgia. I live in Georgia. They film in Georgia. There's no reason why my case, in my opinion, shouldn't have stayed in the state of Georgia. It was here for a whole year before they sent it to LA. They sent it to LA because that's what Lionsgate and Starz asked them to do, and the judge granted that for them. They wanted it to be moved, so that's what happened. It got moved. And I knew when it got moved over there that I had the skin of my teeth of a chance, which is why I just kept saying, please give me a chance to go to trial. Please give me a chance to go to trial. That's the only thing I could say constantly. Please give me the chance to go before a jury, please, because I knew based on the previous research and how the court generally rules with plaintiffs. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean is such a hopeful case for me. And I had the opportunity and the blessing to talk to the attorney who won them this huge judgment. He, you know, thank God he's reached out. I reached out, whatever. So thank God for that, because it gave me a ton of hope. I reposted his article. But the same exact thing happened to the Pirates of the Caribbean case. 2 writers wrote the Pirates of the Caribbean. It went before the same court. And the court said, no, it's not substantially similar. They then went to appeal, and the appeals court turned that over, and they won 300. Well, allegedly, I don't know what the real dollar amount is, and people be clocking my Instagram for the lie or for the whatever they can turn into something. I'm not a liar. I'm not lying. They got a whole bunch, hundreds of millions of dollars after they went to appeal. The Roblox, or was it not Roblox? It's one of the video games. Forgive me. I might be mentioning the wrong game. But a game, this choreographer invented some choreography. He had a side-by-side comparison video, just like, I think it's Hagami Games or something. Just like I had the side-by-side video. We actually had the same judge, ironically. And he dismissed that, and he got the opportunity to go back after it went to appeal. So, y'all, I'm praying so hard. I need y'all to pray that they don't stick me with $1 million in legal fees because my case was not frivolous. I should have the right. And if I don't have the right, based on the facts that I have, based on the fact that I gave my script to the company that now has made millions and millions and millions allegedly dollars off of this thing, if I don't have the right to file a lawsuit and I don't have a right to go to court without the fear of being charged all their legal fees, I don't know how it's possible. I'm not going to hold y'all up and pretend and be all warm and fuzzy and optimistic and positive where positivity and optimism does not exist. If I cannot go before a jury. Now, babe, you gotta stop saying stuff like that because then I didn't say it. I don't want these. You know, they be watching everything I post and they screen recording this whole live so they can go to the judge. I know, but see what I'm saying and see what I'm saying. My husband is like, he got every right to feel everything he feels. But we can't say how we really feel and we can't share what we really feel in our hearts about what happened to us. This going to sound really hella dramatic, y'all. Brace yourselves, get ready for it. Because what I'm about to tell y'all is going to sound dramatic as hell. But I wrote Soul Kittens Cabaret almost 20 years ago. So many celebrities, friends of mine, helped me through this process to get to this point where I am. So many, we had so many workshops, like since, you know, like I said, I wrote it in 2004, guys, right? 2003, my first registration is 2004. Imagine having a kid, right? A little baby. That's how creatives look at their art. You know what I'm saying? Like Marvin Gaye looked at his songs as his little babies. I look at the things that I write and create. R&B Divas is like my little baby. Imagine having a baby, right? See what I'm saying? The man got frustrations because of this ass, you know. But imagine having a baby and you lose your baby, like your baby gets kidnapped, whatever. This is like I said, it's dramatic. Okay, baby goes away, you know, whatever. You see your baby years later and you're like, that's my baby. Like, you know how to baby walk, you know how to baby. You like that birthmark, I'm familiar. But because the baby now lives with very rich people, super rich people, right? The baby got new hair, the baby got new swag. It's just, but you know your baby. And you go to court and they're like, no, this baby don't look exactly identical to this picture of the... That's what the equivalent is. I had a play. We did not have $100 million. Katori Hall was given $100 million per the CEO of Starz. We gave Katori Hall $100 million to create Pvalley. That's what the man said. And it wasn't denied from nobody. You put $100 million into a story that is substantially, in my opinion, similar to the one I pitched to y'all. Like the fact that I gave y'all my materials is something that a jury should be able to hear. It's something that a jury should know. The jury should be able to hear. Nicci's lawyer and the CEO of Lionsgate, who knows Nicci's lawyer, who there's no debate about that, and the lawyer's assistant who set up the meeting, and the manager who went to the meeting. Yes, she went and she pitched this story to the CEO of the company. And years later, that company hired Katori and gave her $100 million to create a substantially similar story, beginning, middle, and end. You can't say that I only mentioned a casino a couple times in a 2-hour play, but it's mentioned all throughout a 8 to 10 hour series. Like, you know, you can't say that this isn't exactly identical looking as this because it had $100 million, but the story of gentrification, the story of a casino coming. That's Detroit. I'm from Detroit. That's what happened in real life. Like it deserve. The expert said it's the same story. My attorneys, when they first saw it, I will never forget. My attorney was like, I had to look at this several times to make sure I wasn't just drinking the Kool-Aid. Like everybody who sees it, but the judge said ain't nobody gonna agree, so he threw my case out. And I'm not disrespecting the judge, because they gonna try to flip it and be like, I'm on live disrespecting the judge. That's the thing. You can't, it's a fine line between being able to tell and speak your truth and tell the truth about what's going on. So that's why my TMJ is crazy. That's why my husband is just like, this industry, it's a setup. You're never gonna be able, and he's been saying this all along, and I'm always like, no. And contrary to what people believe, my family and my loved ones and everybody who knows me thinks I'm too nice. But I got a reputation for being super bitch. Everybody who knows me think I give too much rope. And I'm too nice. And I sugarcoat too much. But the people will set it up to make it believe as though I am constantly out here trying to destroy this lady, Katori Hall, and speak negatively and ill on Lionsgate. I'm not speaking ill on them. I'm saying I came to y'all and I gave y'all my script. I came to you and I pitched the CEO of the company this story. And this story, Tata, which means auntie. He said, oh, I love the name Tata. That's what he said to me. I'm not lying about that, but you can't consider that in my case. It wasn't even considered. It couldn't even be considered. The fact that I pitched it to them could not even be on the table or considered. The reason why I couldn't be considered is because there was a previous case that was won that said, well, if you don't see similarity, then it don't even matter if you went and gave them the script and said, here's the script. In the hearing that we did have, we were hopeful because he was saying, yeah, this needs to go, that's a transcript of that. He was like, yeah, no, this is a matter for, but when you go back and you read case precedents and what has happened previously, and it states that you can't, even if I gave him my whole script, even if it was a video of me walking in saying, hey, here's my script, read my script. If the judge says that they don't seem similar, then I can't go to trial. That's how the law is set up. And it ain't nothing I can do about it except ask the appeals court to reconsider. And I can't bring any new evidence in the new appeal. It all is the same. So it's just, you can't win, y'all. You just can't win. Not based on the fact that you don't have no merit. Based on the fact that if you're fighting a multi-billion-dollar company, and I'm fighting too, and you don't have the money to go and just dig under every rock and, scrape the dust off the grass blades. If you don't have the resources to do that, you will not prevail in the system as it is. Simple. A jury is not going to see you if the judge don't let you through. And it's mind-blowing to me that I am stuck potentially $2 million in debt if he then goes and says, yes, make her pay y'all $1 million because she tried to challenge whether or not this was actually hers. Like, that is just going to be the biggest blow, and it's going to probably bankrupt the out of me, but I don't regret fighting for my rights. I don't regret fighting for my family. I don't regret fighting for intellectual property. See, Eric Monty, who I've established a great relationship with him and his family, and we're working on something really amazing. But Eric Monty did a show that turned 50 years old, and that show has generated hundreds of millions, allegedly, of dollars. And he got generations of people in his family that could benefit from that. And he got $1 million for all of the things that he created that have been on TV and on air for 50 years. Sophia Stewart. Black people will not win against major corporations. We just won't. Until somebody sticks up for us that has the power to change it. If my case prevailed, it would create so much opportunity for other content creators and other copyright owners to believe that they stood a shot. This ain't me, trying to adjudicate, or publicly, try my case, because I'm not going before a jury, because I wasn't given the opportunity, because a judge said I can't after 3 years. This is me being honest about what would have happened and how things could have been changed for the better for creatives who generate hundreds of millions of dollars from major corporations. And now all this is going to say is, don't you dare challenge me. Federal copyright protection is not what I thought it was. Because if you can't go to trial, and you can't go before a jury of your peers, and you can't have the opportunity to share your facts and the merit of your case, you cannot and you will not ever win. So we will never have the ownership that Tyler Perry has, that he was granted by the same company I pitched to. And the fact that nobody stepped up and said, hey, is further proof. Black people can't get nowhere until the black people that are at the top of the mountain stop standing up there looking down low, judging and showing everybody how great they are, and actually get down in the field with those of us who are trying to grow generational wealth and wellness and really help us in a real, tangible, viable, meaningful way, as opposed to just everything having your name on it as such an incredible person, and you haven't been able to create more people like you. See, that's the real meaning behind creating wealth in your community. You're not the only one at the party with $1 million or $1 billion in your own studio, or the only 2 or the only 3 or the only 4. You create hundreds, and that is how we succeed. All right, y'all. I'm done with my rant. Pray for us. Pray we win this appeal.